Attack, man! Defeat the enemy! They have ruled us for too long! Tear down their home! Destroy everything they love! Or just act like idiots and run around them again. Tear it down! No one shall rule us! Yes! Welcome to Becastled. I've only been playing this game for about a couple hours, and I'm addicted to this game. It's very bloody fun. I enjoy playing this game a little too much for what little I've played it, but I haven't played a game like this where you have so much freedom and diversity and everything you can control. For how little there is of the game, it's really damn fun. There is a lot you can do in this game, and it's really enjoyable. Obviously, as you can see, I've obviously been playing this. I've only been playing on this one run so far, but it's still really fun. I enjoy this very much. Now, these are your standard 3 foot soldiers that are currently in the game. You have the swordsman, you have the spearman, and you have the knight, which I don't really find... I find interesting that the knight is what would be the swordsman, because he's basically running around with a great sword. You got the standard spearman in standard body armor, and you have the swordsman, which would be more properly... Because I think these two, their names should be swapped, but... C'est la vie. But if you see right here in the bottom right corner, they have stats, and they have levels. As they level up, they get more health, and they get more damage, which is very nice. It's very functionally the same. And it's honestly very enjoyable how these knights work, because I haven't seen their max level yet, because I know that some of these guys that I have in here, I'm not sure where, are over level 5. Now, granted, my highest levels are in my swordsman. I can't find them right now, but they're in there somewhere. The only ranged you have right now are archers, and you have siege equipment too, which is very nice. Because you have a trebuchet and you have a ballista, if I could select it. Those do not level up. The archers do level up, as you can see, but the siege equipment doesn't. But it's still nice to have. And if you're wondering, these blue flames implicate the direction in which the raid for the night will show up. Right now, I am sitting rather nice right now, which is very happy. Which very much is very nice. More or less, how it works is you need to start out with your capital. You can't, which is your castle. You can't upgrade the castle. It has a very stock instance, but that's fine. This game's in early access. One of the basic things that would obviously be in mind is that obviously, if this gets destroyed, it's game over. I would at least surmise, because that's how it works with most stereotypical games. But you have 4 different types of resources, which is sunstone, which is an interesting term for currency, because this seems more like this would be a mineral or something that would be utilized in like equipment-based situations, kind of like say in golems, which would be a really nice addition to this game. But I also say that because I think everybody in this game is honestly a golem, because if you see, every single character in this game that isn't an animal has this yellow stock glowing face. I'm not sure if this is supposed to just hide the model because they don't have a face or something like that, or if this is deliberate, but every one of these guys makes me think of a golem for some reason. And if you run out of currency, because your army maintenance and payment for them, basically, if you can't pay them, they slowly die, which is rather annoying, in my opinion, because again, that makes me think of a golem rather than they're just not quitting. If that's a little understandable. But c'est la vie. You also have lumber, food, which I'm currently in the negative for, but I can contend with that later. You have stone, and that's basically it. At least for now. You have special items right here, which I'm not entirely sure. Because I think this is influenced by the market, but since I don't really have much stuff over here, because I have another market, I really don't like that the camera is slowed when you're in the reduced time, but oh well. But as you can see, I have a market stall set up over here, and they're selling some of these special goods, these special resources, because right now they're currently selling these. And these guys running around is one of my food gatherers, which is a hunting hut. Because you can hunt boar and you can hunt these deer and or elk. I'm not sure what they are. They say they're deer, but they have horns that deer normally don't have that broad of horns. Those would be more like elk, but whatever. But you can also have cattle, which is nice, and as well as sheep. Oh, I didn't know they make sounds when you click on them. Huh. I guess only the sheep have this sound right now. But this castle, what it does is it generates workers as you upgrade houses. If you have the housing and have good mood, more units will spawn. And it also is influenced by the rate. The happiness is also influenced by that rate. You have taverns, and you also have markets, which also help with boosting morale. If I can select the damn market. See? As it sells a good, it increases morale. You also have this, which helps produce goods, which I can't build another one for some reason. Which you can only have one, which is a peculiar limitation, which doesn't make much sense, but say la vie. But anyway, you have general goods, which is a housing, which is what you increase them, a builder's guild, which is really nice, which can be rather helpful. You have a church, which is a key thing you need operating, because these guys, perfect example, resurrect your units if they get killed. They will revive any dead units that happen to fall in combat. So I'm going to have you move into the lines. Next thing you have, which I'm just going to address this general area right here. Here is a simple stone quarry, which allows you to harvest. And then one of the more major things, which is a siege workshop, which obviously allows you to make various siege engines. Sadly, these guys don't work together on building these, but it is nice that you can expand it so that it can have build two simultaneously. But you can only have two things manufactured at any given time. The next thing would be the treasury, which increases your not only your currency hold, but also increases and influences taxation. They're unhappy, but you get an influx of cash, which that's a pretty massive spike of influx. But that's also a very large negative, which I can't support that right now. Not to say I can't soon, but for now I can't. Because you also have various silos and storages, which increase your hold for resources and all that, which again is nice. Sunstone. And you have turrets, which are very nice. These are turrets. These are stone turrets, because I kind of intermingled these just to make it a little easier on myself, as well as spots where I thought during the nights in which I was getting attacked to help reinforce them and better defend them, because I was concerned about where the attack would come from. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention you can also have a fishing hut, which is also nice, because how this works is by upgrading it, you increase the housing limit. Granted, I'm going to have a bit of a negative. It's going to increase my food consumption, but that's fine. But as you can see, now it's generating a worker. I have quite a few workers sitting here because I actually do need to expand on my military, because that's what I was planning on doing. Oh! I see it resets the spawn flags whenever you make new units. That's good to know. Well, let's get 3 of each for here, and let's get 4 more archers. Because right now I have quite a large army. Uh-oh, they're stuck again. They have pathing problems, and I've also noticed one of the problems is not just with the environment placement, like over here, as you can see, because they can't path to this because of its placement. So they can't go from here to here. They have to go into this to get up here. But I've noticed that in certain spots, it's really finicky with the placement, because I try to navigate right here, and you can see it's just going all over the place. Because for some reason, he decides to stop there. There we go. Now they're all getting properly into position. You go right there. There. Okay, now everybody is more properly positioned. Yeah, because I've noticed that these guys collide with each other, and they also go on a procession-like line, which is nice, but it can be obnoxious at times with the generations. But I did notice that if you place certain structures and objects in certain places, it will actually build structures, which is rather nice. Or, well, landmass, not structures. For example, like right here, or over here, it built this terrain to even out and level this out, which is very nice. Which, now that I think about it, I should start covering. Well, I'm not sure what those do. I'm guessing those have to do with fires, a tavern, which increases mood. This can also increase mood, which is nice. And it also gets a bonus for every market nearby within a set radius. So, for example, see, it has no bonus, but if you build it near a market, it goes to a 60% bonus, which is nice. Granted, these don't really have any wares right now, so it doesn't really matter. So there's no resource to trade, but it's manned. But I need a resource to trade, so I need to gain access to another resource. Next is the military, which is pretty standard, because I've already covered these. You got your barracks, and you got your archers. You got gates in various degrees, and a ramp, which is actually a really nice touch, which allows your soldiers to not only utilize towers as their only means of getting up, but also a ramp. I have a few ramps set up here and there. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow, this is a big force. I've noticed that it kind of fluctuates with the forces that they send after you, where it's kind of all over the place. Ooh, what was that? Was that a stun? That was interesting. I've never seen that. But these trolls, man, are they chunky. They are beefy. They don't have much in the way of damage, but holy cow, do they have a lot of health. Move forward, take out that siege engine. Why are you stuck? Why are you stuck? That is good. Well, for the most part, this force isn't all that threatening. Granted, though, I'm on a rather easier difficulty, but that's more because of the fact that I want to see what all this game has to offer and how fun it can be. What is this? Oh, that's how many residents I have idle right now. Okay, right, I forgot about that. He is permanently stuck there. That is not good. But you can really amass your forces, because the only real limiting factor is food, I've noticed. That's the only actual major limiting factor in this game. Oh, right. Duh. That's why, because I didn't claim the territory. Right. I remember now. Because that's a facet you need to utilize, is you can't build anywhere unless you own the territory prior. That completely slipped my mind. Whoops. But, nonetheless, it's still helpful and can be very utilizable. Okay, there we go. And now I have a gate. That's that slipped my mind. But yeah, you can't work anywhere unless you claim the territory. Oh! Okay, so just reloading the game too resets their attack location. That's good to know. Okay, so I need to reposition over here now. Yeah, I've got the wood screwed. I'm just gonna claim all this right here. I need the food anyways. Oh, okay, so that fixed my soldier at least. Because I've noticed that there was a lot of glitches with this game so far. Oh, both mix of glitches and just inherent bugs I've discovered as I've been playing. But what do you expect? The game just barely came out, so that's kind of an inevitability. Okay, yeah, and this is another problem I've noticed, is where some stations will become spontaneously unmanned for some reason. I don't know why. That explains why my food was in the red. Because my fishing hut was in the negative. Was it man? Yeah, because I've noticed that's been a problem from time to time. Yes, not enough builders. I know, game. I guess I need to build another dedicated builders guild. Oh no, that's right. They only do repairs and stuff like that. Or I think my characters have just flat out ceased to want to function again. So, looks like I'm gonna need to restart the game again already. Okay, yeah, now I'm not as in the negative anymore because my fishers are working. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to sit on these chairs, but for some reason they only sit on the sides right here. I'm not sure if that's how that's supposed to work. I don't know why they're not building the walls. I have the commission to be manufactured. I don't entirely understand why they aren't. Also, something currently within the game, which isn't a bug, it's just how the system works, is you have to place every entity individually for the time being, which isn't a problem. Just, it can be unfortunate at times in certain scenarios where you're trying to get stuff squared away. No, I need the draw bridge, not that direction. This direction. It won't rotate for some reason. Oh, there's one already placed? No. Whatever. I'm gonna reload the game real quick. Again. Okay, there we go. Now the Builders Guild is working. They weren't working for some reason. Okay. Now I have people coming out to work on all this, so that's good. But yeah, it can be finicky at times. Sometimes a little full-blown absurd. Sometimes how it just won't want to work. But what are you gonna do? You can't exactly win them all. So I'm going to have to address it tonight because of the fact that, again, the builders are not working for some reason. Because why don't they manufacture the... Why... Yeah, there's a lot of problems with this game right now. A lot of glitches, a lot of bugs. But it's worth tolerating, at least for the time being. I'm not sure why they aren't doing this. But at least I'm getting all the stone. No, I'm not getting... No, I'm getting my stone back. I think, maybe some of it. Yeah, I'm getting a small portion of it. But I don't understand why that does that. Let's actually slow this down. Just so I can get these commissioned in time. I can't afford that anymore, that's fine. No, place it please. Okay, here comes the attack. Ooh, we got quite a bit. So, knights, everybody over here. Okay, my archers are gonna have to forcibly be just sitting here for the time being, mostly because everything's coming from every direction right now. Okay, archers. Archers. Archers! Why won't they move? There we go. Okay, they're finally seeing the enemy. Okay, so you guys aren't even functioning, so just charge this. You guys move down over here. Okay, my knights are engaging. They're done with that location. Archers, come over here and engage these guys. Granted, I think the siege equipment should keep them under control. Wow, you're just wailing on a tower. You little ass. Yeah, the AI aren't the smartest. If they don't go after, like, a finite amount of... No. You guys just keep pursuing this. Or not. But yeah, if they don't go after a finite amount of enemies, like, if they aren't within, like, a finite range, they just won't charge the enemy. Which is a little finicky, but not much you can control. Especially considering, often than not, when these large battles happen, your units die a lot. The AI isn't the smartest when it comes to combat. At least not yet. And there went another goddamn tower. Kill this one man! I'm not sure if these guys are like goblins. What are they? Because they're just a moon archer. I'm not sure if they're like goblins or who they are. Alright, there we go. And now the day is over. This, for some reason, is not being built, and I don't know why. Because I have people over here, and I have a builder's guild. And they're just standing around, I think. Unless they're actually actively doing something. No. Okay, they are. Because they do come out. Okay, now they're actually building the structure. Or are they repairing? I don't know. Because for some reason, the area is damaged, and they'll repair it. But it's just really finicky. Hang on. Okay, so is the Builders Guild working now? Maybe? I don't really care. Okay, they're building again. Yeah, it's really finicky, and I don't understand it sometimes. I really don't. And my fisher hut has been unqueued again. I do not understand why with the fishing hut. That is so finicky. Because the farm works, but it's just odd at times with how it works. Interesting. This hasn't been built either. Okay, there must just be something wrong. Like, is it designating specific NPCs that are supposed to do this, and they are stuck somewhere? Why do I get that suspicion that that's the case? Because they've gotten stuck here before when I tried building a wall before. Because the Builders Guild, for some reason, just isn't working. Like, is there just an NPC stuck somewhere, but it's not telling me that they are? And I don't get it. Wow, what the hell? What happened to the terrain? That's new. And it's fixed. Something I haven't done yet, which is take out the rest of the wolves on the map, because there's 2 sets of wolves still. But I'm curious, because if that isn't the case, I'd like it so that if you defeated them, you could actually start recruiting wolves as soldiers. But I'm gonna leave these wolves here because they actually attack enemy units. It would be nice if they diversified the ranks of the soldiers more. For example, like you had some guy with like an extremely heavy shield. Yeah, a guy with like a heavy shield, some guy that had like an actual legitimate claymore. Maybe a character who had like some big pole, kind of like a golem, like I said, or something like that. It'd be really nice to diversify the units. Because, don't get me wrong, it's not that it isn't nice to have soldiers, but it doesn't hurt because every actual army diversifies with its soldiers to address many situations. So, sometimes they just have small regiments, sometimes they have just a simple squad. But, yeah. It would be nice to see something like that. Granted, I probably butchered those ideas, but more or less like a more heavily armored soldier, like a paladin, or something like that. Maybe a cavalry soldier. That would be nice. But maybe more fantasy characters, kind of like we actually utilize certain enemies too, kind of like wolves or something like that. There's something that would be nice to see, like you could like train wolves or something like that, or like have more fantasy monsters on your side. Kind of like the enemies have trolls, you build golems, and stuff like that. Just a lot more fantasy-based stuff that you could utilize. Because I just think that would be so cool to have like just as a diversity, because right now all you have is limited just to this square map and you just deal with waves of enemies and that sort of assortment. Something I think would be nice is, because I love these kind of games, where as you build up you expand and you go on, and then you, like say a game where you have like a territory control map. But because I like those kind of games, but like say for example, this would be one of those games where you, instead of it where, because most of the games where you have to basically, either A, you start with an army, but it's basically just, you just see like the battlefield, kind of like with Warhammer as a perfect example. Just don't get me wrong, it's just, this is a more in-depth iteration of that game, of those kind of games. But one of the aspects I don't like about some games, where they build it in that kind of format, is where, sure, you can build all these structures, and you can build all these installations, but every time you go to a new section of a new chapter in a campaign, it basically makes you start from scratch again and again every single time. Unless it's certain campaign aspects where you have to do, where it presets up a small outpost for you and then you go off of that, which is basically the same damn thing. Because that kind of stuff has always annoyed me, where you can't basically bring your entire force with you or utilize like something you've already built, and then request reinforcements. For example, this kingdom will still stay here, and I can go somewhere else and build another kingdom. Or I guess, technically this would qualify as more of a settlement rather than an actual full-blown kingdom. There's a lot of occupants here, yes, but half of them are literally dedicated to military to ensure security and safety for everyone here. So yeah, you can kind of, hopefully you can see my plight. But it's still nice because it's just very helpful when doing all of this. Because I've got quite a nice little sizable army right now. Because I don't entirely know what all they'll have, like, later in the game, but because I read that they stated they're going to have a campaign, heroes, and stuff like that. Because that sounds nice and all, but they really also need to have more diversity in the soldiers. And just have a full-blown army. That would be so nice. Because if they're going to keep with this yellow face thing, maybe transition the soldiers to where this is sunstone, to where this sunstone is still the material they utilize to keep running. But instead of it being just the soldiers, it actually focuses on it keeping them functional, because these are all basically golems. Because that would be a more fun, interesting concept. Because I don't have any problem that this is the currency system. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just when I see sunstone, it makes me think of quite a few other games that have used this term. And that's actually more as a actual crystal power source for golems, or just like equipment or tools or weapons. And not actually as just a straight currency. Because it just throws me off a little bit, because I'm not used to seeing the name used as just a flat currency. But, like, for example, maybe get rid of the glowing faces for these guys, and all the soldiers are actually golems. And the priests resurrect them. Like, the priests become, like, I guess, I don't know the proper term that is used for someone who would create a golem, besides just a golem forger or something like that. Like a forger, maybe? Something? I don't know. But that would still be nice. And, like, you could get bigger and better equipment. Like, this. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't enjoy these walls, but it'd be nice if you could build them up past this point. Like, either A, build bigger and thicker walls, or just, like, have bigger and stronger walls. Like say you use obsidian or something like that. Or you just make it out of just a sheer metal. Which obviously would be expensive as hell, but could be useful. Oh, what are we dealing with? Okay, sizable force. They don't have any siege equipment this time around. Never mind, they do. Okay, engage. Spearmen, head over here. Archers, engage right here. Because something I would like is if you could set... Oh, okay, they're just not spawned in yet. Because something that it would be nice is if they had more of a patrol setup where you could actually order them to go from, like, place to place. And they could actually, like, charge the enemy. Okay, spearmen, head over here. You guys continue helping with the front lines. You guys, in fact, charge this and just focus that. Because I've noticed if they go past a certain section, a certain area where they're stationed, they will automatically go back to that area. Because as you can see, some of these guys are just sitting stationary and not actually engaging the enemy. Because they're within a set distance away from them. Okay. What is... Okay. As you can see, it's a tad finicky right now. And I don't understand why the units aren't working half the time. Because they don't work half the time for pathing. But what do you expect? So, for my final thoughts, this is definitely a fun game. I really hope it gets flushed out and really diversifies, both in the building mechanics, the building mechanics, the army, the overall diversity. Maybe even when you get to the campaign, there's actually other factions, or at least like other kingdoms you can run into and affiliate with, make trade deals, and even attack if you so desire. You can maybe have like your own customized paint scheme that just like maybe changes the minor tinting of like the armor to where like you can color the red banisters, the shoulder blades, that kind of stuff. And you even like have like banner walkers that give like a morale boost, stuff like that. So on and so forth. I mean, I'm just rambling on at this point, but I hope you guys enjoy this game, because this is definitely a game to look forward to seeing where it goes. So, hope you guys enjoyed. With whoever watches, I guess. I'm so alone. Yeah, right. Where's my double ice cream?